Sorry, you guys. I'm like eating molasses cookies because it's hot. Apparently, all the neighborhood kids are going to hang out at my house today. So I've done watermelon, I've done molasses cookies, and then the garage, because like I'm very kid oriented, is set up like a big playroom for the kids with like rugs and bookshelves and kitchen set and doll houses and like all that kind of stuff. So all the kids are like hanging out in my garage because it's so hot. And then I baked everybody molasses cookies, which are like my favorite cookie on earth. And today's really my record day, but like the kids want to paint. So now after I finish this live, I'm going to just pull out like the big poster board and just let the kids paint. So yeah, my day is going much differently than I planned. If you hear any children, when I say all the neighborhood's kids are at my house, I mean, all these little chocolate bunnies are at my house. It's crazy. Okay. So I feel like I have to look at multiple things. This is my assumptions about me video. So first of all, let me say that you guys are really kind people. And hi, friend Antonio. Hey, Dreddy. I appreciate all the people who gave their assumptions about me. And I have to say, like, I was a little bit worried to do an assumptions about me video because I thought it wouldn't go over well. But like in real life, you guys are like super nice. So the assumptions were all really nice. I actually only had one person who gave assumptions that weren't actually compliments. And they weren't anything I wasn't expecting. So I'm still going to shout everybody out. Although this video is probably going to be like a love fest because you guys are all just really good people. So lucky me, I don't have anybody hate watching my channel. I basically just have people here. Hi, 1D Forever. Hi, New Era King. I basically just have people here who are super sweet. And I actually was pleasantly surprised that nobody hate watches my channel. That when I did the assumptions about me on my community tab, like everybody you guys are so kind that I feel so privileged to have so many good people in one space. So let me just go ahead to the comments and I will get the majority of the love fest over with before I get to like, you know, the controversial assumptions about me. Because like I said, there was only one that's kind of like controversial, but it's like a 3-part assumption. And I think it will probably address like a lot of other people. So Lindora Robinson said that she thinks I'm kind, loyal, beautiful, and loving, and that I have an empathetic spirit, and that I should have become a therapist or a psychiatrist. And so first of all, thank you so much, Lindora. You are super sweet, and I really appreciate what you said. And strangely enough, my initial field of interest was molecular biology. And when I kind of delved into stem cell research and it wasn't really working for me, like what I was seeing there, I decided that I would go into child psychiatry. And when I started child psychiatry, I realized that I don't have the emotional detachment necessary to be a psychotherapist, because psychotherapists have to have a level of detachment from their patients. And I just would start like crying and getting so upset and like emotional and wanting to hug people. And all that's very inappropriate for a psychotherapist. So strangely, yes, I was going to go into child psychiatry because I have a love for children, and which is probably why all these kids are at my house today. But I didn't do it because it was something that I, like emotionally, I wasn't fit for. Hi, Ross Styles. Happy Sabbath to you too. How'd you get me back, Dreddy? Oh, you got my back? Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Hi, Kenny. So yeah, so there you go. So yes, Lindora, thank you. And you were kind of on point with that. I actually was going to be a psychotherapist, a child psychiatrist, but I'm actually too empathic. Like I'm too empathetic. I'm too attached to how other people feel to be good at that job, it turns out. So you are kind of really on point. Daryl said, that I have a strong will, I'm elegant, I'm independent, and has or will have a master's in sociology. So I don't have a master's in sociology, but as I said, I wanted to be a psychotherapist. I am strong-willed, or as my hubby would call it, willful, which could be positive, could be negative, right? Depending on the situation. But thank you so much, Daryl. I appreciate that. Sendawala, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right because it's so beautiful and like it's not my goal to ruin it. Hey, Dark Prophet. Hey, Little Miss Chocolate. And I'm just going to go through all of them, you guys. Like I said, you guys are such beautiful people that my assumptions about me is really like a love fest. And there was only one like controversial one, but I don't want to not read them simply because you guys are good people. I think it's just reflective of like all of us and the space that we've built together, that everybody is so amazing. So thank you for being wonderful, because I can't even go into like how happy I was to know that I attract good people to my channel. It just made me feel really privileged. Carly said that she was interested in molecular biology but became a surgeon. Hugs and best wishes, and thank you for sharing. So you became a surgeon. That's good. I'm not into blood per se, so I wanted to stay in a lab. But Carly, you'll know like that early research with stem cell research, and when they were doing like the direct implantation and with the tumors that were developing, like what we saw in those tumors, like that was too much for me. So that actually removed me from molecular biology, and it actually molded, and I have been talking about this a lot in the past few days because of the fact of like the abortion debate going on. It really molded my view on human life. Because at that time, there were no molecular biologists. Like I'm a lot older than I think a lot of people. Despite how I may look, I'm actually not that young. And there were no molecular biologists at that time. Like that wasn't actually a field of research. Nobody had that job. And so after like my, probably my college years and the people coming behind me, then molecular biology became like a real field that you could really go into like that. But before that, the technology was just like super new. Oh, you're 40? Okay. So let's see. Sindawala said, you're articulate, pleasant, smart, and gorgeous. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Alan said, I think that you're sweet and kind, and I can speak with clear thought. And thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. I had to really learn how to say what I felt directly, because I think that that's important. And so it's big for me for people to accept you for the person you are, because I think maybe all of us don't go through this stage, but I know for me personally, I went through a stage where I'm a very accommodating person. Like I can get along with everybody because I'm just really mellow and I'm comfortable going along with like how other people feel and what they want to do. But I also had to learn that I want to be valued, not just because, I'm easygoing, but also I wanted to be valued like for who I was as a person. So I try to be very clear in my thought process, and then people can decide whether they vibe with it or not. You're right, because we're not going to vibe with everybody. So yeah. So with that said, the next one was from Joshua Peoples. And Joshua said that he doesn't have any assumptions about me, but that I'm one of his favorite ladies on Black YouTube, and he likes how I handle myself. So I really appreciate that, Joshua. I feel like I don't always handle myself the best. Like sometimes I do have a temper. I just, you know, I have a temper. I rarely get mad, but I can be very insulting and condescending if I get irritated. And it's not something about myself I'm particularly proud of, but I like to think that most of the time I don't come across that way. But sometimes if I get mad or irritated with the person, then I will not be the nicest person I can be. So, but I think that's everybody, right? Like everybody's not nice all the time. Hello, African Tigress. Osana Bua, I hope I said your name right. Thank you, Carly. You're so kind. Hi, The Voice. I love your comments too. King Genzo said, and I'm reading this from the chat, first assumption is I'm educated, relatively, but not as educated as some people. Like I don't have multiple master's degrees or anything like that. So the next comment was from one of my mods, the infamous Colonel Davidson, and he said, sophisticated, charming, and polite. Thank you so much. He's actually been with me since I started my YouTube channel pretty much. And so I really appreciate that feedback. And I hope that you're not working too hard this weekend. And I try to be polite. I do try to be polite. I don't try to be charming per se, but I'm glad that I come across charming. But I definitely try to be polite because I try to think of like if I were in somebody's position, how I would want to be treated. And I try my best to treat people according to that. Bruce Lee fan said, has anybody put a ring on it yet? Yes. Atlanta Lady said that she doesn't have any assumptions about me, that she's fairly new to my channel and it's one of her favorite channels. Thank you so much, Atlanta Lady. I really appreciate that. That I have good content and an excellent commentary. I appreciate that. And that she likes my insight and perspectives and hope that I'll stay with it. And that my skin is flawless in every video. I appreciate that too. That's very kind of you. Hey, Joe. Oh, okay, dope. You're from Kenya? That's awesome. I'll have to look at your channel. African Tigress has a channel here on YouTube, you guys. And you saw me over on O'Shea's. I'm really, really fond of O'Shea. Like, he's a good person, and I really do like him. No, I'm not, Osana Bua. I'm not, but actually that's an assumption somebody had about me, so I'll comment on that when I get to that person's assumption. Let's see. So Sexy Runa said she couldn't think of an assumption right now, but she'd come back later. And she thanked me for sharing knowledge. She said she's a student learning from the teacher. And I just, and this is what I'll say is, y'all, we're learning together, right? So you guys and me are learning alongside each other. And you guys tell me a lot of stuff I didn't know. And so we're kind of like bouncing off of each other, which I think is the way I want this channel to be. And so I hope that's the vibe you guys get, is that we're talking like in a conversation and not me like constantly talking to you. Let's see. Self-Care Boss said, I'm not sure if you've ever discussed this, but I believe you're a closet hip-hop head, meaning you enjoy the beauty of the genre plus all types of music. You already showed us you can sing. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I bet you tore up some talent shows back in the day. Keep bringing us excellent content and stories. Thank you so much, Self-Care Boss. That was a really unique comment. Do I like hip hop? I like underground hip hop. I can get into some mainstream hip hop, like if I just want to zone out mentally, because there's not a lot there. But I like underground hip hop like more than anything. So that's what I would gravitate toward, like with regard to hip hop. And I do like all kinds of music. You guys know sometimes I play different kinds of music on my channel, but obviously everything is copyrighted, but I like Brazilian funk. I like music from like across the world. You know, there's some Japanese hip hop I'm really into. If you can believe they have it there in Japan. I don't know if you guys know. I didn't really know this until my son told me, but there's like a lot of half Black, half Japanese people. And I like a variety of music. I like classical music. My kids, I let them listen to educational songs. Y'all, I have the best kids educational song list on earth. Like it teaches the water cycle, parts of a plant, the planetary systems. Like my kids' playlist is off the chain. And I also listen to scripture songs because it helps me remember Bible scriptures. So there's that. But thank you so much, Self-Care Boss. Last name first said, Irene, you're a sweet, demure, emboldened, graceful, and extremely versed on a myriad of things. Can't think of a time I haven't learned a single thing from you. Never disappoint. Thank you so much, last name first. That's super kind of you. I really appreciate that. I hope that I come across graceful, but quick fact about me, y'all, I'm really, really clumsy. Like it's a miracle that I'm alive today, you guys. Like I am the clumsiest person ever, like ever. Like I can fall over myself. It's like hilarious. People are always so concerned about me when I drive. Like I have no business driving, you guys. I barely pay attention. Like angels are literally, there's a legion of angels that are just responsible for me. I promise you, because I shouldn't even be alive right now because I'm like a hazard to myself. Okay. So I think I'm graceful if I'm not moving like too much, but if I move too much, I could kill myself because I'm so very clumsy. It's actually pretty astonishing. So that's just something that's a fast fact about me. Well, Asana Bua, it's cool. Like you said that you assumed, you know, that, and I said I wasn't, but we'll get to there because somebody else like who actually submitted an assumption in my thing, they said something very similar. So yeah. Why would I share what with you? That I'm clumsy? Y'all, because I am. It's just something that's true about me. I might fall in a video one day and you guys will know why. So you won't be surprised. Hello, Charisse. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Twila, hey Twila, I love you so much. Like I love your commentary. I love Twila because I'm gonna tell you guys, and I know I'm butchering your name, so I'm sorry. I love her because she does not agree with me on everything, but she always shares her point of view, and like I respect her point of view so much. So I always look forward to your comments. I'm always happy when I see you in the chat. She's really awesome. And she said that she thinks I'm classy, intelligent, confident, amicable, fair, reasonable, and witty at times, funny as hell. She said that I'm amazing. My channel is refreshing. I'm telling you, you guys are really beautiful people, y'all. And I did not edit these. These are like literally all the comments I got. And I just can't tell you how happy it like makes my heart that so many people that watch my channel are just amazing people. Like I read your comments. Y'all know this because I respond to your comments. And you guys are all amazing. And I don't know what I thought, you know, because I have like thousands and thousands of subscribers. So I don't know like who I thought, because obviously I don't get to talk to everybody because everybody doesn't comment and, you know, everybody doesn't watch every video. But I was so happy that like so many of you guys are just really, really amazing people. Because like I said, sometimes people hate watch channels, like they hate you and so they watch. And the fact that you guys are not like that, like you guys are just good people, that makes me feel so good. So you have no idea. It makes me really happy. I'm so appreciative. I can't even explain it. So Little Miss Chocolate, thank you, first of all, Little Miss Chocolate. She says that she's an empathic person, an empathetic person, which to me is the same thing. People who are empathic are also empathetic, right? And she says, do I think being empathetic is a blessing or a curse? I think it can be a blessing because it means that you'll never be too cruel to anybody. Like you will always pull it back because your goal is not to hurt people. But I think it can be a curse too, because I know a big problem for me, Little Miss Chocolate, is that when people are not good to me, I will forgive them. Like I am like the forgive and forget like queen. I will forgive and forget like almost anything. And it takes a lot for me to realize that a person isn't good, because and people, I'm always looking for like the good in people. And I know that I'm not perfect and I make so many mistakes. And so I just assume everybody is that way. And so I'm very forgiving because I want people to be forgiving of me. And so I think in that way it could be a curse, because you can become a doormat when you're just that loving toward people. There's like a lot of people out there that will take advantage of that because they know that the chances of you staying upset with them are slim. So I would say it's a blessing, but it could be a real drawback too. Thank you, Kenny. Happy Memorial Day to you too. Yep, salute to all the veterans. That's what's up, really, because they put themselves on the line, and that's like, especially because these rich people don't give two craps about the people in the military, and yet they still go out there, y'all. And the reason America is not a war zone right now is because of our military. So yeah. Thank you. The voice said that I'm a sweetheart and I'm funny. Thank you. I'm glad you think I'm funny, because I feel like my sense of humor is like off. Like really. So let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Happy Sabbath, Joe. Yeah, to you too. So let's look at the next one. Atticus said that I'm beautiful, intelligent, and that he loves my videos and my sarcasm. Yeah, I am pretty sarcastic, y'all. Funny thing is, I don't actually try to, like, when I'm joking, I'm really serious. This is, I think, something that is really important to know about me, actually. When I tell jokes, I'm like more serious than when I'm not telling jokes. Like, I don't really tell jokes to be funny. Like, all of my jokes, like, I'm serious. So if I say something slightly off and it sounds like I'm joking, like, I'm dead serious. I don't really have the kind of sense of humor where, like, I say things that aren't attached to like how I really feel. I have the sort of sense of humor where if I'm saying something and it could be taken like super offensively, I'll turn it into a joke. And that's about the only time I tell jokes. So yeah, I'm pretty sarcastic in that sense. That's something that people only close to me know. It's something I didn't recognize about myself until years and years ago. Like my best friend pointed it out. He's like, you never are joking. Like you're always serious. And I had to stop and I was like, you're so right. Like, especially when I'm joking, I'm serious. Like when I said that guy was a homosexual the other day, like I was serious. I was laughing about it, but like in real life, he's gay. So I wasn't joking at all. Maya Ruiz said that you're not like that at all. Once somebody shows you who they are, you don't forgive them. That's so hard for me to do though, Myra, because, or Maya, sorry. It's so hard for me to do, Maya, because man, you just don't know. The thing is that y'all, people screw up. Like we've all really screwed up. And like, don't you want to be forgiven in those instances? I don't know. Like, that's just what I think to myself, you guys. I just really do. Hey, O'Shea, thank you. Shut up. I'm going to slap you in your face when I see you. Okay, let's see. Hey, D-Red, what's up? So let's see. Okay, so let me go back to the ones that were written. So Lala Gana Love said, I'm hoping you know that I absolutely love you. I really appreciate that, Lala, especially because Lala is another one where we don't always agree. Her and I, we do not always agree on stuff, but I love her comments. Like whether we're agreeing or we're disagreeing, like I love talking to her. So thank you so much, Lala. And that she's been taught so much. I appreciate that. I've learned a lot from you too, just talking back and forth with you. She said she finds the content interesting and empowering, and that is such a high compliment. Thank you. She said she sees that most people went for the same positive assumptions that she wanted to put down. And she said she looked for something that may be different or negative that she once assumed about me. And she said, and that's the fact that you seem to have had an easy life and have fallen into the pro-Black discourse simply because white supremacy gave you no choice, not because you went into it of your own volition. Okay, so let me read that again, like her assumption. She said that I may have had an easy life, that I fell into the pro-Black discourse because of white supremacy and not having a choice, and that versus just doing it because I wanted to. So, okay. So let me talk about that. So I haven't had a hard life. Let's just say that. I haven't had a hard life per se. My mother, she worked for IBM. She worked for Siemens Corp. I didn't grow up like in a poor neighborhood or anything like that. So I haven't had a hard life. I went to private school like most of my life. I think I spent 1 year in public school in high school. I went to college. It was a private school. Like I've been very comfortable. Most of my life, I haven't had to work. So I would say that I, compared to a lot of people, have had an easy life. I was a housewife. And then if I wasn't a housewife, then my family took care of me. Not to say I've never worked or anything. That's not the case. But I haven't had a hard life, right? Even when I was a single mother, I was able to take my baby to work with me. So I think I've been very, very lucky. But I have had hard parts in my life, right? So there were stints in my life where I really didn't have much. And I think people find this hard to believe. Like there was a period in my life where I went from living in a penthouse to like having no place to live. And I did have a place to live. Like there was a beautiful home I could have gone to, but I wasn't being treated well there. And so I chose to leave. And because I had been a stay-at-home mom for like so many years, like most of my adult life at the time, I didn't have like a work history. I didn't have a job, I had only worked for my husband's company. And then I had these little babies, and that was a hard period of my life. And I mean, it was a hard period. It's like I really had no money. I really didn't have a safe place where I felt comfortable to go. And so, yeah, my life has been easy, but in the times that my life has been hard, it's been hard because sometimes when people have money, they can try to control you with their money. And I've never been comfortable with that. Like, I'm not going to stay someplace that I'm not comfortable just because the house is nice or just because you have money or just because I'm going to be spoiled or anything like that. So, yeah, now as far as the pro-Black thing, I've always been pro-Black because I'm Black. I never called it being pro-Black. I just was a Black girl. So obviously I was for myself and I was for Black people. And I just recognize, especially being Geechee, that we have been through like a lot and that we have like communal issues. But that didn't, I didn't like dislike other people because of that. It's just something that I recognized. And so all my life, like I've, been in positions to employ Black people since I was like really, really young. And so I've done that for the majority of my life from like maybe 23 on. I was in that position to like give our people jobs and to try to protect our people in the way that I could. And I never looked at it as being pro-Black. I just looked at it as if I had a choice, these are the people I'm going to choose to hire, right? If I have a choice, then these are the people I'm going to surround myself with. And I learned that from my mom because a lot of my family in San Francisco, like the older people in my family, are part of the Black Guerrilla family, which is kind of like a prison gang, but they're like really kind of pro-Black. So I guess that's what we call it now. That's not what I would have referred to myself as. I just use the term because other people use the term. But I'm for myself, and I'm for people who look like me and things like that. So it's not so much that white supremacy didn't give me a choice, but I did find when I came to YouTube that the conversations that I would have in my house or the way that I would teach my kids were conversations that were being had on YouTube. And I just decided to speak on things that are really like actually part of my life. So when I say our kids shouldn't be in their schools, like I really homeschool. When I say our kids shouldn't have their paperwork or, you know, be registered with the state, my kids really don't have birth certificates and social security cards. When I say things like we should hire Black people and try to keep money in our communities, like I have, you know what I'm saying, decades of history doing just that. So, yeah, it's not something new I fell into. I think it's new to you guys, right? Because you guys are just meeting me. But it's not like, I didn't make a fanfare about it. It just was how I live my life. It was just part of my regular lifestyle. I'll say that. So thank you so much, Lala. And I appreciate having you here. Let me look. So I want to look at the comments too, because you guys are talking. Dark Prophet said that he has a hard time judging people even when they objectively need to be condemned. And then I'm a perfect foil to his character, which is why he likes me so much. I really like you too. And I hope that you did well on those tests, because I know you said you were studying for some tests. So I hope you did well on those, because we want you to get those good grades, man. Dark Prophet is like young enough to be like my baby. He could be like my baby. I don't mean that in a negative way. Like he could really be my son. Let's see. All right, so no, new Eric King. No, you don't have to be really smart to homeschool. You don't. I feel like a lot of people feel they can't homeschool, but you don't have to be super smart to homeschool. You can homeschool. There are programs to help you. You don't have to know everything. There are things I don't know that my kids still get taught. African Tigress said, so I homeschool my kids. Yes, yes, I do. Yes, ma'am. I do homeschool my children. So let's see. Stratizen X said that I'm blessed, empowered with infinite beauty and wisdom. Grace is abundantly poured on your lips. Thank you. The Most High God has blessed me forever. Yes, God has blessed me a lot. And I do feel really empowered. I didn't always feel empowered, you guys. I used to be really like, and I still really am kind of like a passive person. Like aggression or confrontation aren't like my strong points. I prefer to just get along with people if I can. But I feel more empowered now. And honestly, and the guys are probably going to go like, that's disgusting. But ladies, the first time I felt really empowered is when I gave birth naturally. I know that sounds like weird, but the first time I did it is the most powerful I've ever felt. And it was like life-changing for me. And then I went on to have several other kids and I gave birth to them naturally. But that was like the first step where I felt like really, really strong and super empowered, because by nature, I'm a very like submissive, very like gentle, very non-confrontational person. It's kind of like my personality. And so, yeah. So I'm more empowered now than I was like as a young woman, for sure. I'm much different now. I'm not much different, but I'm definitely different now than I was when I was young. I'm more secure in myself. I'm more comfortable with myself. Dillard Pat. Hey, Dillard Pat. I love seeing you when I see you in here. I seem like a super nice lady, refreshing to learn my spiritual knowledge and commitment to. Yeah, I really love God. I don't shove religion down people's throats, and I don't quote the Bible like in every video. I don't feel like I need to make a show. But everybody knows that I'm Christian, and being Christian, I don't dislike people who aren't Christian or, you know, try to rip them apart or try to convert them or anything like that. But I do love God. And y'all know I like to have a good Bible battle and that everybody is invited. Okay. You don't have to be Christian. You could be anything. You don't even have to believe in God. You can still come because we have fun when we have our Bible battles. So thank you so much, Diller Pat. Snap Turtle, who's been with me a pretty long time. I feel like Snap Turtle has been around like, okay, y'all, I'm about to like wipe my nose. Is that like too personal? Sorry. I'm not sick or anything, but I don't know. Maybe it's the AC is making like my nose a little runny. So Snap Turtle said that I'm intelligent, poised, strangely tolerant. I am strangely tolerant. That's true. Much more logical than most men. Thank you. And I have beautiful skin. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I am super tolerant, y'all. I am a very tolerant person. I grew up with a mother who was like very strict and very demanding and very like, she had a strong personality. And so I am very tolerant of other people. Mostly because I don't have the expectation for everybody to think or be like me. So because I don't come with the expectation that you're going to view things the way I do, that you're going to react to things the way I do, that's like a pet peeve of mine. A lot of people will say, oh, well, if that were me, I wouldn't do that. So that person must be lying, or that person, you know, is probably bad, or I don't think like what I would do in a situation. I just respect people for who they are. As long as you let me know who you are, I can respect that. And that allows me to be tolerant, because it's more important to me to have a relationship with a person than it is to have the expectation that their whole personality should conform to my ideology. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, so I am tolerant because of that. I don't know if I would call it tolerant as much as I am accepting of people, because I appreciate the differences in people, and I don't have the expectation that everybody has to be like me to be okay, or has to think like me to be okay. Now, with that said, there's like some things y'all know I'm very intolerant of, like homosexuality, abuse toward children, you know, like I just don't get with some shenanigans. But on the whole, and even in those cases, I don't even care. Just don't invade my space with that energy. But on the whole, yeah, I would like to think I'm pretty tolerant of people. Accepting. I like the word accepting, because tolerant means like they really get on your nerves, but you're putting up with it. But people don't normally get on my nerves like that. I normally just really genuinely accept them for who they are. So let's see. African spirituality, Osana Bua. My thing is, what is African spirituality? You know, like Africa is a diverse place. I feel like that's a term we use, but I feel like there are different types of spirituality throughout the continent. So, but I get the like idea. And being Gullah, like the Geechee Gullah Nation, like they practice a form of African spirituality. So I don't like respect to it, you know. But I also think we have to recognize like all Africans don't have the same spirituality. Like they are into like different stuff. Osana Bua, yeah, I get that a lot. Keisha Knight Pulliam, yeah, I get that a lot. I don't think I really look like her, but I could see why people would say it. And she's pretty, so I think it's a compliment. Oh, so African Tigress said, homeschooling is not common in Kenya. How do they transition from junior school to a senior school university? So, like, I think everything depends on like where you live and like what's going to be accepted. But like the plan I have for my kids is when they reach their high school curriculum, they'll do a concurrent enrollment course, because I did this with my eldest child in junior college. And they'll spend 2 years in junior college, will allow them to graduate from high school, and then they'll have their first 2 years of credit for college. And so that's how the transition will go for us. But I don't know how it would go like in other places. But most people in the United States can use that model if y'all are curious. And then also, you don't have to be intimidated by the high school curriculum either, because you don't have to teach it. And I'll just sit in on my kids' classes, like take them and just sit in the back, because, you know, junior college, you can do that, just to make sure that they're safe and stuff like that. Hey, Khadijah. Let's see. I'm like going back and forth between the chat and the comments that people left. New Eric King said, more logical than most men. I feel like I am. I feel like, well, I don't know than most men, but I feel like emotionality is higher in men. And it actually makes them more irrational. Just like emotionality makes anybody irrational, like emotionality makes women kind of irrational too. So yeah, I think being over emotional and like hypersensitive, because I feel like society has got so politically correct that like the minute you rub somebody the wrong way, they just fall to pieces and they just stop thinking. And then everything is just like, I feel, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm mad, or like whatever it is. And that's like annoying. Dreddy said that I bring swords to the Bible battles. I try to. I'll stay in the scripture during Bible battles. I'll do that. If that's bringing the sword, then I'm definitely going to bring it. Hey, Super 2477. Laughing at Esau, Keisha Knight Pulliam, Rudy from the Cosby Show. Now that she's grown up, Rudy Huxtable, her. Salma Seti, who I love. And Salma, you are like so stunning. You are so beautiful. She says she admires how feminine I am, but also intelligent, that I make brilliant videos, but she doesn't understand my religious beliefs. I guess that comes with conservatism. Possibly so. Yeah, I'm Christian. I was probably more fortunate than a lot of Christians that my grandpa was a bishop and he was a good Christian. He wasn't a hypocrite. So I guess I've been around enough Christians who were not hypocrites that I recognize I'm not the best Christian ever, but I know people who legitimately walk the walk. And so they taught me a lot. And so I'm Christian, yeah. And I'm conservative, y'all, but I'm also probably a lot more liberal than a lot of you guys think. Like, I'm liberal in areas, but I'm conservative where conservatism is needed. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like people get liberal and they get like too liberal, where we don't want to have limits. And that's why we have like 30,000 genders and people like mutilating their bodies because they think they're a different sex. And, you know, people are running around and there's like a whole man love boy association, but nobody's took those freaks to jail. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think when we're too liberal, then people, you know, weirdos start to like run amok in society. So I am very conservative on some things because somebody's got to stay conservative because society is getting crazy, y'all. And I'm very like liberal minded in other things, like in private. Like if you and I, like if y'all came out to dinner with me or something and we were just having a glass of wine and we were just hanging out, you would find that I'm very chill and I'm very liberal and fun and into stuff. Like I could probably teach y'all some things. But when it comes to socially, I'm socially conservative. So I think it goes that way. I think, you know, some stuff needs to stay in the confines of like adulthood or the privacy of your home or da-da-da-da. And socially that we should be conservative on the whole. So I think that's kind of where I stand on that, Salma. I don't know if that cleared it up for you. Okay, so Aaron W. Okay, so this was kind of the controversial comment. So let's, oh, that might not work in Kenya. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think Atlanta Lady, like, I don't think men are more emotional on the whole. I think men are more self-controlled on the whole. But dude, when a guy gets emotional, like it's a real thing. It's like a fountain that's been waiting to erupt and there's no putting that genie back in the bottle. So I prefer men to be a little emotionally removed. Like, I feel comfortable there. When men start getting emotional, like, that's a little intimidating and scary because they always go like real left. Like, once the emotional floodgates open with men, I find like it just, you don't know what's going to happen. It gets really dicey there. That's true, New Era King. I just made low country rice the other day, so that's true. We do eat a lot of rice. That's true. So let me look at your comments. Hi, India XO. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, India. So I'm glad to see you. Charisse, am I going to do more homeschooling videos? Yes, Charisse, but I'm doing those on my vlog channel. I'm not doing those on this channel. So I will have more homeschooling videos, but they will be on my vlog channel. Yeah, I agree with you, Maya. It is weird. It is really weird. So Aaron W said that I've never worked a job, that I live off child support and alimony payments from white ex-husband, and that I'm completely out of touch with Black people not on YouTube. Okay. So thank you so much, Aaron, for your assumption. I appreciate your honesty. Aaron, I have worked a job. I've worked several jobs. I've never needed to work per se, but I have worked. So typically I work as like a consultant or executive assistant. Like, those are the fields that I normally work in. And I typically work with C-level execs like CFOs, CEOs, presidents of companies, things like that. I spent a significant amount of time working in the commercial real estate field as a consultant and an executive support. And so that's typically what I do. My family has companies, and so I've worked for my family's companies, which is where I had the liberty to just employ basically Black people because that's just what we did. So yeah, that's kind of, so I have worked several jobs in my life. So that's that. So yes, I have worked a job before. Do I live off child support and alimony payments? I've actually never gotten alimony, and I don't get child support. So I don't live off of alimony and I don't live off of child support. I do have some stock interest and things like that, but I don't get money from that. And that's because I helped start the multimedia company that my ex-husband has, and the artist coalition that he has. Like, we built that together. So I do have stock options in that. But no alimony, no child support. So anything that I have, I didn't get because of a man giving me money for it. And then you guys know my man now is a Black man. And actually, when we met, my house was like 2 to 3 times larger than his house. My car was much nicer than his car. My situation was more comfortable than his situation. So I'm not saying he's not broke or anything. You know, this is a man with 2 master's degrees who has, and I think this is important because I think a lot of people think I'm disconnected from Black people off of YouTube. But before I ever saw or had a YouTube channel, I was working with him, my current man, because we weren't together at the time. We were working together on opening up a Black school that was my school. That I was opening with a partner. He has a mentoring, he's been doing mentoring for a long time. So he has a mentoring agency for Black boys. He does Black male advocacy. Our lives are filled with Black people. That's literally what we do in everyday life. So like, we go places, he gives speeches, and we deal with Black children specifically, and work on opening schools. And it's like, especially now that I'm with him, it's like Black, and then extra, especially Black. Like, we, you know, he doesn't even like white people inside of our home Black. So yeah, so no, I don't live off alimony. I don't get child support. So I'm not living off child support. I have always dealt with Black people in the real world. I mean, I'm Black, so that sounds crazy as hell, but I've always dealt with Black people in the real world. Like I said, I've employed Black people since I was in my 20s. I've been doing that. For one company, all the employees were Black. Like there were no non-Black employees at all. And in my current life and in my current relationship, everything is about Black people. Like there's nothing not about Black people. I don't talk a lot about like my personal life here on YouTube just because of trolls, because my man does a lot of work with educational institutions, with the NAACP. I'm not a fan of the NAACP, neither of us is, but like that is what it is. Recently, we had an event where we had some Black congressmen there, and the way that people move on YouTube, it would disrupt the work that we're doing because yeah, some of y'all are messy. Let's just be real. Like some people on YouTube are really messy, and I'm not willing to mess up the livelihood of like my family for YouTube. So like we are in these streets in a very real sort of way. It's just something I don't advertise on YouTube because I don't trust all y'all, like just straight up. I don't trust everybody. I don't need any stalkers. I've heard like people getting death threats and stuff like that. So when I have people talking about raping me or killing me in the comment section, then that puts me in a position where I'm not really able to share parts of my life with you guys. And that is unfortunate because I would love to be able to do that. But, you know, there's too many weirdos out here. So, you know, that's why I'm sketchy about even talking about where I live, or I don't like having to be like that, y'all. You know, my son was like, my eldest son, he was like, don't even show the outside of the house. Like people could find us looking at the outside of the house. And I don't want to be sketched like that. But unfortunately, there are so many weird people on YouTube, and people are so destructive that, you know, I could see some nutcase showing up into an event and like ruining our events or something like that. And that's something I'm not willing to compromise at all. Like I'm just not about to compromise any work that we're doing for social media. Like it's just not that serious. So when I know people who are about their work, then there are people here on YouTube who really do have my private contacts, who really have talked to my man and know what he's about. But those people are doing work in the community. And so I trust them because they're doing the work too. But as far as like just making my life fodder for YouTube so that people don't doubt what I do or don't do, that part I'm not going to do. Because everybody that I hear that does that, they say they wish they hadn't shared so much personal information. And so I'm trying to just be more careful with myself because y'all, YouTube is crazy. Like there's too many nutcases on YouTube for that. And then the other part of what he said was, yeah, so I think that was it. He said that I never worked a job, that I live off alimony and child support, which I don't. I don't get alimony. I don't get child support. And that I'm out of touch with Black people, which couldn't be further from the truth. Like, so yeah, so that's that. And so I hope that cleared it up for you, Aaron. And I appreciate your comment. Mika L, hey Mika, of course I love you. You comment so much and I look forward to that. That I'm well-spoken, polite, and articulate. Thank you, yes, I appreciate it. Snap Turtle said, yeah, he digs it. He limits personal information on his channel too. I don't blame you, Snap Turtle. I know that's something Cynthia is always talking about she wish she hadn't done, was just like been so open. Because, you know, people are crazy. And I've heard that time and time again. We see what Nyla and Taz are going through. Like, people are ruthless. They're reckless. So, it's like literally a problem. So let's see. Cassandra said, I can count how many times a white person has been in my home growing up too. Yo, but Cassandra, I'm going to tell you. So you guys know that I just moved out the mountains, right? So when we were in the mountains, there were no Black people at all. Like it was just us in the town because it's a town in the mountains. You know, Black people just don't move into the mountains like that. And I was like, oh, babe, like, we can't go out, da 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 da. Like, can we just hire a white girl? Like, if they could have our people as servants, I can't have like a white girl just like as a nanny or something. And he was like, I really don't like white people in my house. And I was like, oh, that's why I had to get out the mountains, y'all. Because I was like, if I can't even have a sitter because the nearest black person is too far away, then I cannot live in the mountains. That's like crazy. Because he was like, yeah, no white people in the home. That will not be happening. I was like, okay, well, no babysitter for me. And I mad Cynthia when I told Cynthia this. She was like, why would you want one of them watching your children anyway? I was like, you and this man are torn from the same cloth. I promise you. I cannot with either of them. African Tigress said, Irene and all Black Americans here, why do some Black American men complain about Black American women often? And why do they curse a lot? They use the word bitch way too much. That's not how they are in real life. I mean, I don't know. You guys can chime in the comment section. But the Black men I know aren't like that in real life. I think YouTube is not representative of our people. I think the shenanigans that people get up to here on YouTube do not represent Black people. I think media, social media, television, that does not represent us at all. Like, it doesn't represent the hood. It doesn't represent the middle class. It doesn't represent the upper class. It doesn't represent the wealthy. Like, it's not a representation of us. People, especially the hood, like, I think gets it really bad. People make the hood like it's this horrible place where, like, you can't breathe, you can't move, you can't do anything. I don't know. I have some family, and I know this will shock y'all, but I have some family that live in projects. Or I don't know if they live there anymore, but they definitely did when I was growing up. And y'all, I would go to visit like my father's family in the summers and in the winter holiday, and we had so much fun in the freaking projects. Like, I will never forget this. I had never seen food stamps before, and my aunt used to give us food stamps and let us go down to the corner store and get candy. Back when they used to have those fake candy cigarettes that they don't have anymore. Well, they have them, but they don't call them cigarettes. But back in the day, they used to call them cigarettes. And there was a lady who was entrepreneur. Like, there are entrepreneurs in the hood. She would make like styrofoam cups. Tell me if y'all have ever had these. It would be like a styrofoam cup, and she would put Kool-Aid in it and a stick, a popsicle stick, and she would make popsicles and sell them for $1. Like, entrepreneurial in the hood. And it was never unsafe for us playing there. It was never a problem. There were 2-parent households. Like, my cousins had a mother and a father. They just didn't have much money. So I feel like YouTube and all of this, like, these are not the Black people I know. Like, I've had my god sister on here, but I had to like take those videos down because people were like criticizing like her physical appearance and my physical appearance because of how we look. But like, she is one of the most logical people. Like, her common sense is like off the chain. Like, she has more common sense than a lot of these politicians. So I feel like, you know, I don't know, the Black men I know they work hard. They're married. They love their families. They love their kids. Like, they're really about their kids. Like, seriously about their kids. If they're not about anybody, they're about those kids. I don't think that's portrayed on social media or on television. And I think that's because that's not how we are. I'm not saying every Black person is perfect. I'm just saying that the spectrum of who we are is not represented, in my opinion, on media. I don't think it's represented. So that's what I would have to say to that, African Tigress, like, when I think about your question. Oh, Kenny said the same thing, that it's a good question. It's disrespectful, and that he encourages her not to think that we're all like that. I'm with Kenny. Yeah. It's not representative of who we are as a collective. It's not. Like, social media, that's not, yeah, that's not representative of us. So let's see. I'm going back down. Sorry. What's called a thrill? Oh, is that with the little thing? I didn't know they were called thrills, but I knew I liked the hell out of those in the summertime. Like I could not wait to go to my Auntie Lois's house and be able to go right next door and get one of those little popsicles. I just thought they were the most delicious things I'd ever had. But like I said, entrepreneurial, just a woman hustling to take care of her family. Derek C. Williams. Derek has been with me. What's up, Derek? Derek has been with me since the beginning. He has an amazing channel, y'all. He is a father to a beautiful little girl, and he is like really, really involved with that little girl and teaching and in rearing that little girl. He's such a good example of what that looks like. So be sure to check out Derek C. Williams. He has a channel here on YouTube. And he said, I'll FOH to all the detractors. I don't really know what FOH means, Derek. Of Irene Yvette. Am I perfect? He says, no, but who is? He says he's done and said a lot of wild stuff, mostly because he knows it triggers people. And he says, fuck him, that I ask poignant and balanced questions. I'm not condescending or malicious in my talk. I really do try not to be. And that I clearly love Black people first, and I do love our people. That's true. And I love Jesus Christ. I do love the Lord. That's true. And he's not white, y'all. Yeah. So, oh, and Demarius, yes, his daughter, Demarius. What's up, girl? She's a beautiful little girl. You are so smart and beautiful, and I love seeing you in your father's videos. So let's see. Gio Doro said pork chop. I don't know what that means, Giodoro. What does that mean? Kenny made a comment as well, but let me go back to the chat. Let's see. The fuck out of here about what? Joe? Oh, it means fuck out of here. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know. I was like, what? Fuck out of here. Why is everybody saying that? Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So I just learned something new. Oh, hey, Derek. I was just answering your question and saying what's up to your baby girl. Oh, okay. So Kenny Conjo said, good evening, Irene Yvette. His assumptions of me are based on experience of being connected and speaking to we in lives and moderating on channels together and hearing me on panels and watching my content. So he's saying he's assuming it based on a lot of experience interacting with me. And he feels that I'm articulate, observing, objective in panels, and a caring mother and wife, and an awesome content creator. Thank you so much, Kenny. And to keep up doing the good deeds and educate my subscriber base. And that education goes both ways because you guys teach me a lot of stuff. I mean, y'all just taught me something, but you guys teach me other stuff too. Keep me cool in my old age. Yeah, for sure. I'll see you in another live too, Kenny. And you stay blessed as well. BMT said he likes my cousin Ivana, although she dresses unbecoming of a God-fearing woman. Okay, BMT is my Gullah brother. You have to check out Black Male Talk. And I think he was on O'Shea's yesterday. They did a live together yesterday. So you guys check out BMT's channel. And oh, she said hello. Tell her I said hi, Derek. Yeah, he's my Gullah brother, and he likes to joke that I have a cousin named Ivana who's more reckless than I am. He's got jokes. I see you got jokes, BMT, whatever. Atlanta lady said that she's back again. She said she first heard me in a group discussion. She can't remember which channel, but a segment of the discussion was about Black men in prison, that I was well prepared. I came with statistics and facts, that I'm confident and self-assured, that she became a subscriber for that moment. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you did. She says she doesn't know why I'm not more well-known or subscribed to more. Maybe because all my videos are demonetized by YouTube. Y'all know that like most of the videos I have, YouTube won't like bans them or demonetizes them and things like that. And I think they promote channels with that they can make money off of, maybe my channel's not profitable to YouTube. I don't know, but it's cool. It's cool because I think it's not about, like, I have thousands of subscribers, but I don't have over 10,000 subscribers, y'all. So I'm a small channel by YouTube standards. And in a way, I think that's okay because I think the channel will grow if I'm consistent with it. But I also think that I think it's good we have this time where the channel isn't huge and we can really get to know each other and build like a strong base. So when we do things, we're working together, because sometimes when channels get too big, like nobody matters anymore. Like how I'm able to sit here and like read your comments and like talk to everybody and like that kind of stuff, like losing that would suck, you know? That would really suck. So I think happy medium, maybe. She says, I have a wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much. I'm inquisitive. Atlanta lady. And that I'm one of the most well thought out YouTubers in these types of discussions, and yet I'm not as popular. Thank you. My assumption is because you're married or dating a white guy. So no, my man is Black. You are not any of the Black woman stereotypes. Well, that's stereotypes, yeah. The thing is, I think Black women, we get a bad rap. There's a lot of negative stereotypes about us out there. You seem to have yourself together, which is why it's hard for people to bash you, except mentioning your non-Black man. And let's be clear, Atlanta lady, they're talking about a marriage that I, entered into in my 20s. And now I have children who are in their 20s. So people can do it though. And I've never hidden that my first husband was white. Actually, the first interview I ever did on YouTube was about that. So yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Like, people are going to like you or they're not going to like you. But I feel like if somebody has to reach back into my 20s to pull out dirt on me, then I'm doing something right. So there you go. That's what I would say about that. Let's see. And yeah, so I think that was all the assumptions that got listed in my community tab. So I can close that out. Let's see. Okay, Kev James, why are you so hyped though? Like, do not be hype. Do not be so hype. You are worked up. What's up, Kev James? It's cool. Like, you have a lot of energy this Saturday. Okay, so anyway, with that said, y'all, those are my assumptions about me. Like I said, you guys are so sweet and kind, and like more than anything, what really, really made me happy is that the vibe of the people on this channel is so positive and so good. And like I said, I was a little lightweight scared that a huge part of my subscriber base were people that like hate watch me. And it's not the case. Like, I just have a lot of decent people here. And that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm putting out the right kind of energy because there are good people here and you guys are the good people. So I just want to thank you for your assumptions about me. I hope I cleared some things up for those of you guys that did have assumptions. And I know that some people thought these things, but maybe they didn't feel like comfortable saying some of them. So I was glad to like be able to address those things myself. And with that said, y'all, I told you I have all the neighborhood kids over here. And I promised them, well, I didn't promise them, but I told them that I would let them paint. Oh, it's a fake page? Oh, okay, Snap Turtle. Am I an air sign? I'm a Leo, Cassandra. So I'm a fire sign. Yeah, I'm a Leo. Am I going to do the interview with Sonnetter? For sure. O'Shea said Sonnetter wanted to do an interview with me, so I'll for sure do it. I'm flattered that he would take the time. So if he contacts me and that's what he wants to do, then that's what's up. Let's see. Oh, African Tigress said that she does content about Africa. That's dope. So yeah, go over to African Tigress's channel and show her some support too. She says she's only 16 subs away from 4,400 subs. That's dope, African Tigress. So yeah, surely we can get her like 16 subs from this live. I don't know how many people are in the live, probably just like 40 or so. There's almost 60 of us here. So yeah, if 16 of us can give a sub to African Tigress, she does content on the continent, then that would be awesome. We could get her up to that 4,400. Let's see. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anybody. Oh, hey, Cynthia G, what's up? Oh, you're an Aries Dark Prophet? Yeah, I'm a Leo. Okay, dope. Okay, yeah, dope. So I think that was it. I think those were all the assumptions about me. And I want to thank you guys all for being such beautiful people. Again, I know I've said it like 15 times in this live, but it just made my heart really happy that you guys are all so beautiful, because I think we attract, you know what I'm saying, what we are. And the fact that I've attracted so many intelligent, good people makes me really, really happy. And it makes me so appreciative. And I don't know why I didn't expect so much. Like, I expected less, but I'm glad that I was wrong, you know? And that makes me like feel really, really blessed. So I really appreciate that, y'all. And Libras are the best sign. No, Khadijah, no. Leos are the best sign. Leos are the best sign. So with that said, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna let these babies. Oh, you're not feeling well? Oh no, I hope you feel better. I hope you get to feeling a little bit better. May 25th is Africa Day? No way, really? Okay, so African Tigress is uploading a video for Africa Day tomorrow or Monday. So keep a lookout for that. Make sure you visit all the channels that I mentioned in the live today. I tried to give as many shout outs as I could for people who have channels that are here. And yeah, I know, Khadijah, the delusion of you to not recognize that Leos are the best sign. Why? What would be the confusion? Everybody else has a planet, and we have the sun as our planet, the actual sun, Khadijah, the sun. Okay. Your planet revolves around the sun. Khadijah, stop playing. You play too much. Okay. So with that said, y'all, I'm going to go. I'm going to let these little kids play, have a good time. I'll keep on my recording. So you guys know that I'll be doing the daily kind of short content on like the trending topics, but that will be supplemented with my regular content, like my more extensive content and my documentaries and stuff like that. And I am working on a couple, but those take a long time for me to put together. So the shorter content will kind of fill up the space as I am editing and like getting the data together for like my more in-depth content. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I will catch y'all on Monday, most likely. Yeah, I'll see you guys Monday. Okay, bye-bye.